Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Greetings to you all, my fellow Biafrans, and I welcome you into this program or episode titled British to Apologize to the Biafrans. That is the title of this message. In case when you come across it, do not get it twisted. British set to apologize to Biafrans. Why? Is what I'm going to show you now. Please, as you are watching, kindly drop your opinion at the comment section of this video, and then we are coming back for more discussion. Once again, I welcome you all to this episode. We must prevail, no matter what the enemy do or say. So let us watch the clip, and then we'll come back for more discussion.
All right, guys, take a good look at this video. You see, the British must apologize to Nigeria. This video I'm about to show you now exposes how Britain is the main reason why Nigeria is like this today. Okay, now I want you to watch the video of former British colonial officer Harold Smith as he confesses the evil they did to Nigeria and how it has kept Nigeria to this point up to today. The evil they did since in the 50s and 60s and up till now, Nigeria is still suffering from it. Now watch the video for yourself, and after watching it, make sure you share the video so that other Africans will see, or Nigerians both within and diaspora will see and know exactly what we are struggling with. So I would allow you guys to watch the video for yourself carefully to the end and share the video.
The British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct?
Yes.
How long were you in Nigeria for?
From 1955 to 1960. I was a Labour officer, a senior civil servant.
Okay.
I only intended to stay in Lagos initially for 2 tours of duty. Although, because of this conflict with the elections, there were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service. They were determined that I should stay in the civil service after my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives, including a knighthood, to stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the Governor-General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged, contrived. The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria. Even in '56, the Northern leaders were very proud and were saying, if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections. They might not join Nigeria, they might leave. And we all thought, well, how would they survive? There were no industries, there's not a great deal of agriculture, some groundnuts in the north. This wasn't very practical at all. And then it was, the Governor-General seemed to be thinking that the North couldn't, even if it won an election, rule Nigeria by itself. The South wouldn't stand for that. So there had to be a partner, either the Igbos in the east or the Yoruba in the west, to team up with the North. What he didn't want was for the 2 southern parties, the Igbo and the Yoruba, to team up to form the government, because he believed the North wouldn't tolerate that and talked about leaving the federation. So as I learned, in a small way at first, but very rapidly I learned about the election fixing, and as I say, this was confirmed to me by the Governor-General. He actually said that he wanted me to know the truth because he wanted me to know how much trouble I was in.
You mentioned statistics, you were collecting figures. Is that for labor and unemployed people only, or general?
Primarily, but obviously my interest was in the population
Of Nigeria.
Yes. And Awolowo, the Yoruba leader of the action group, and Chief Enaharo, they too, other people were saying, where are all these millions of people in the north? Where are they? We're going up there to campaign. We want to know, And you see all these, thousands of miles of not very developed countryside, and the northerners are claiming that their voting registration figures are larger than in the south, larger, far more people up there. Well, actually, if you went through the Igbo land, Enugu and that, you saw lots and lots of people. If you went to Ibadan, again, Ibadan teeming with millions of people. But we didn't actually see many northerners, and obviously not many northerners at that time came to Lagos. So this did arouse suspicion. Now,
what does this mean for Africa's most populous nation? If the foundation of Nigeria's democracy was deliberately corrupted, can we still call what followed a legitimate system? Have we been building a nation on a lie told before we ever had the chance to speak for ourselves? Smith's confession goes further. He claims the election was rigged specifically to favor the North, not out of justice or merit, but out of strategic colonial design. The idea wasn't to create balance, it was to preserve control. By propping up one region, the British ensured dependency, division, and internal conflict.
They did do a deal with Zik, Dr. Azikiwe, from the east. Dr. Azikiwe, there was this big problem in Nigeria. It's the same big problem in America and in Britain. How do you get funds to fight elections? The candidates in Nigeria had no money, but they did have marketing boards, which were a kind of semi-nationalized industry. And they borrowed money from the marketing boards. But there was a suspicion that Dr. Azikiwe, who has formed his own bank, the African Continental Bank, was actually bankrupt. But he was borrowing very large sums of money from the marketing boards and not necessarily repaying the loans. We knew this. We had a great secret service. All the politicians' phones were tapped. All the politicians' mail was opened. Everything that any major politician did in Nigeria, we knew in hours. We watched. We knew all that was going on.
Are you saying, in essence, that Dr. Azikiwe took money?
He was blackmailed by the British to do our bidding. We told Dr. Azikiwe that he could go to prison if an inquiry was carried out into his bank and his financial circumstances. However, we would not want to be vindictive if Dr. Azikiwe was cooperative in helping forward the plans that we had made in the best interests of Nigeria. Dr. Azikiwe had nothing in common with the northern politicians. He loathed the northern politicians. But Dr. Azikiwe went north and did as he was told. And what he was promised was this. The real power, effective power, would be in the hands of the northern emirs. However, it would look great if the president was Dr. Azikiwe, and he was given a field marshal's uniform and an admiral's uniform. He asked, please, could he have a row of medals? But they said, well, no, that was a bit difficult, to get the medals. So when the ambassadors started arriving, he was known to be asking people from foreign countries, perhaps they had a medal for his uniform. We thought this was terrible, but it was said that this happened. He was very vain. And for a time, he functioned as first the Governor-General, and then when Nigeria became a republic, as the president. But he had no power. And when he did try to tell the army, he said, I'm the field marshal, the army has got to do with this. They said, hey, you're just a ceremonial figure. You have no power. The Prime Minister, Balewa, gives us our orders. So there was a feeling then that there was going to be trouble. And then it was because the Awolowo and the Action Group had become the official opposition. What we British wondered, how could they win another election without the British counting the votes? There could not be another proper run election without us there. We knew what we were doing. We were just helping things along. You know, we were doing what the British do, favouring our friends and looking after our own and repaying favours. We don't call that corruption.
Right.
All right, guys.
Very well. Very well and very well. You see, the reason why nobody should gaslight you, the reason why nobody should sugarcoat you to hate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa. This video is just finished watch now. Just look at how the so-called Nnamdi Azikiwe brought us to where we are today. Please, don't get this matter twisted. Don't say I am speaking ill of the dead or I am bringing down the reputation of my fellow countryman. Not at all. The argument always centers whenever you go to X or Facebook where they are talking about how the North have destroyed Nigeria or how this Yorubas have destroyed Nigeria. The argument that the Yorubas will bring to the table, the Northerners will bring to the table, the Fulanis will bring to the table is that Zik are the main reason why we are where we are today. This is a typical example of it. Zik was threatened with common prison sentence, not that he committed anything. An educated, an educated illiterate for that matter, because of transaction infractions in your bank, and you borrowed money you couldn't pay, they treating you with the prison and your hands up. You become a ceremonial president, whereby even common the list in the army could not obey your order, but you are wearing a uniform of what do you call it? This field marshal. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand. If anybody tell you that Zik did well for us, because somebody who posted the video said the reason Britain must apologize to Nigeria. No, Britain should not apologize to Nigeria because Nigeria is Britain and it is working the way Britain has structured it. So there's no anybody can to gaslight me that Britain need to apologize to Nigeria. No, because everything that Britain did to make Nigeria what it is today, always, from the day one they rigged the election in the favor of the North, falls in the heads of an Igbo man, a Biafran. Nnamdi Azikiwe failed. It falls in the head of the Igbo man. The election they rigged falls in the head of the Igbo man. They go on not to agree to Aburi Accord. It falls in the heads of Igbo man. The system of government they choose not to favor Igbo man but to favor Nigeria, which is Britain, because Britain is Nigeria and Nigeria is Britain. But as far as I'm concerned, that name Nigeria is just Britain puppet name. That's puppy name, the name they give to their pet. You can as well hear it from this man that Britain rigged the election to favor their friends and those who agree to do their bidding. Because why? 31 good years they fought to colonize the Igbos. So when they see the strength in the life of an Igbo man, no matter how small Igbo man is, do not underrate him. They decided that power must move to the north, which they are easily to control. Okay, let us take it from this dimension. Zik, when you ask them now that an Igbo man has never become a president, they say, what about Zik? Zik, a ceremonial president, cannot order, that is, give a one single order and it will be obeyed. Other than the prime minister put his Tafawa Belewa, a Fulani Hausa man. And yet, you are telling me that Zik is not a part of our problem? My brother, you lie. You make a very big mistake in it. I am not talking down my countryman, no, but let truth be told, because I am not here to sugarcoat or gaslight you. From what this man said, this man is not being forced. It is very, very good. Yeah, very, very good that Gowon is alive to see the country. He said he fought to keep one. You fought to keep Nigeria one at the expense of murdering 5 million of the people you call Nigerians. And you tell me you fought to keep them one. Whereas what's supposed to keep them one is the agreement which you reached with Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana. And then you come back and do the other way around. I saw one interview when Dr. Abati was interviewing that monkey, that idiot, that murderer, that Adolfus Hitler of Africa. What happened? Why he decided not to renege, or rather, why he reneged on the agreement he had with Ojukwu in Aburi Accord? Do you know what that idiot said? What that old fool at 90? He said he had fever when he agreed to that. God have mercy. And the monkey interviewed him, because I have to refer that idiot as monkey. You have fever when you agreed to Aburi Accord. That was why you came back and you order your people to be killing young Biafran militaries from the north. Then you don't have fever when you order for their killings. When the pogrom was going on, you didn't have fever. It is high time we start to tell ourselves the truth, that we are the architect of our problems. The people who have been there for us, who have been there before us, all in the name of politics or whatever they call it, have never represented the Igbos well. Start from the beginning till today. They have never. And I can as well tell you that not today they monetize the Nigerian politics, courtesy of UK. You can as well see how this man explained everything in tooth and nail. He just nailed it in black and white television. That when they want to do election, how are they going to fund it? Then the UK will be the one to fund the elections and decide who rules. Till today, after how many decades, Nigerians still run to Chatham House to go and tell UK what they are going to do for your people. When they organize their own politics or organize their own election, none of them is even coming to Abuja. Even to come ordinary holidays, none of them is coming. The only meeting you will see them in Nigeria or wherever they are going in Africa is where they need to protect their interests. Till today, it is still happening. So British need to apologize to Biafrans, not to Nigeria. Because British is Nigeria and Nigeria is British. Nigeria is British Niger Company. Because that name is name of their pet. So how can you, in your widest imagination, come out to tell me that they need to apologize to Nigeria for what? What did they do to Nigeria? They are the one. They are Nigeria. They choose who rule. They decide what happens in your elections. If you come and show them you are wise too much, they will dump you and choose the dumbest. The dumbest among you is the one they will choose to lead you. And yet, some people never understand what is still happening. They still believe that even if you like, oh my goodness. It sounds funny, but it is serious. Very, very serious. That the UK decided to murder 5 million Biafrans because, in as far as I am concerned, UK are the one who declare war on Biafrans, not Ojukwu. Ojukwu have never called us to go to war. Ojukwu never prepared to go to war. When the so-called Yakubu reneged on the Aburi Accord agreement, Ojukwu called a meeting of elders in the southeast in Enugu State, if I'm not mistaken. And they have to put heads together and said, how are we going to move forward? Because our people are being killed on daily basis. Go on as the then, whether prime minister or head of state, could not stop it. When he came back from Aburi Accord, the only thing he did is to divide the old eastern region to have southeast and south-south. When you go to the map, there's not anywhere that have been located as south-south till tomorrow. And yet, our people, our brothers who are there are still telling that they are not part of Igbo. But that's a story for another day. So, in the meeting, the elders decided and said, Ojukwu, you have to declare Biafra. That is when they started the process. The flag, the map, the currency, everything. They decided it and said, we must have our separate nation. And then the same UK, who are punishing us till today, went on their BBC to write a propaganda that it was an Igbo coup that caused the Biafra war. Can you imagine? Have you seen how cruel these entities called UK, how they are? My happiness today is that UK is falling, and that Queen Elizabeth, what they call it, that their palace must surely fall. Jihadists are running them down in their parliament now. The Christians there, or even the majority, don't have mouth again. It's minority that is leading them. Exactly, the table have overturned exactly what they did to us. When they take power to give the minority and leave majority who are educated and then give it to people who dare not go to school. The only school they know is just to rear cows and go to their farm. And then you decided that these are the ones who are qualified to have power. And then when the intellect among them becomes their stooge. And that is exactly what is happening today. Yes, today, you can as well agree with me that a professor, a PhD holder, who attended all the whole schools in the world, who can speak for hours without not blinking an eye, are now rigging elections for those who can't even spell their names, who merely present certificate of primary school as their qualification to run for presidency. Then the PhD, the professors who went to school are now rigging elections in their behalf. That is the handwork of UK. I am very, very happy that everything is beginning to fall in place. That my people have already woke up. Have already awakened from their sleeping slumber. But how long will it take? I repeat, how long will it take? They threaten what do they call him? Nnamdi Azikiwe with just ordinary prison. Mandela went for prison for his people for a good 30 years. You see, this is the problem. Most of us, the Igbos, don't want to, we hate to see pain because we like to enjoy life. And then Zik fought for it. That is what brought us to where we are today. What about Thomas Sankara? All these ones died as a matter in their countries. What, Nkrumah and the rest of them. Then we reach a Zik turn. He compromised. Even when they are talking about to have a separate nation, Zik said he's a one Nigerianist. Today, nobody even celebrating Zik, but they are celebrating, they call him, June 12th. They murdered a lot of people because of rigging of elections. It is well. It is well. As Osita Ademma or the Warabo. Osita Ademma or the Warabo. Let me know what's most of your time, because they say time is money. Let's see what my people think over this matter at the comment section. I always like to show you the comments so that you that is watching will also know what to say. How many people supported this motion? According to this our brother here, Ezego Morrison said, what will make Nigeria to stand again is to divide Nigeria in 3 units, so each one will go and establish their side. Marcia Winter said, brother, I hear you. Time for all truth to revealed. Keep fighting and don't let your mind be mined by their racist, hateful ways. Stay strong as you are. Together we unite all nations. Water Opeyi, Nigeria is still in terms of the British by remote control. Solomon Edafe, what benefit will the apology bring to Nigeria? Camille said, are you a Nigerian? No, he's a Ghanaian. Caroline said, so he is still alive. Of course he is. Amadi President said, as we don't discover, waiting we don't do. My brother, now we hold ourselves. As simple as that. We still allow the people who they choose to rule to continue ruling. Imagine Tinubu holding a population of over 250 million people hostage. No any single body. Simply because they went for hunger protest. They went for hunger protest and some people were caged. That is the end of it. They started NSAS protest. Some people were killed. That is the end of it. My brother, the Nigeria are not really ready for revolution. When they are ready, they will do it. Everybody like life. That is why you see Nigeria where they are today. This kind of nonsense is not repeating itself in all the Western world. If you kill one, be ready to kill all of us. That is the Western for you. But in Nigeria, hey, once you hear boy, everybody don't go. Nobody want to die. Nobody want to die. Forgotten that some people died for you, for your existence today. But you cannot sacrifice yourself for people. For your future generations' existence. It really thank you very much. And you want to eat everything. You want to be happy. You want to enjoy life. You want to eat everything. And then your future generation, when they come, they continue the suffering from where you stopped. That is arrant nonsense. And that is what keeps them where they are today. Nigerian youths, for where everybody has turned to content creators. The ladies one have turned to hookup guys. The small ones now have turned to Yahoo. So nobody want to die. Everybody like to enjoy life. Dorime, and their leaders keep on losing them. That was why you see they doing what they're doing. Imagine an appointed sole administrator said he used 24 billion naira to put CCTV in government house, and the people of Rivers are clapping for him. My brother, on a mumu. In fact, he don't enter the highest grade. The mumu of the so-called Nigerians, he don't enter the highest grade. And he want to use 23 billion to purchase a gunboat. For what? I beg, CCTV camera, is it the whole Port Harcourt? They put it with 24 billion. And now they said they have set off a committee. Committee what? Out of that 24 billion, the man will just sacrifice 10 billion and hold 14 billion because that money is being pocketed. And they grease their palms. That is the end of the report. Nobody is going to hear about it again. Because people who are eating that money are in Abuja, and them will still constitute that committee. On our way done, on the try. Nobody want to die. Everybody want to enjoy life. Continue enjoying life at the expense of your own generation. That was why, that was why your own ancestors enjoyed life. And you continue from the suffering where they stopped. And your future generation are also going to continue from where you stopped. It is turn by turn. So continue enjoying life. Do not revolt against those who have caged your destiny and the destiny of your unborn generation. Ugo said it's a well-known fact, but the karma could get back to them. Sure, karma. You wait for that karma until that kingdom come. Hadith officer says, so what if Britain did that? We are Nigerians. Let's focus on electing leaders based on merits. If we really love our precious nation, it is like a blow below the belt if we are still looking to Britons for apologies. See what Traore is doing for his country. If we haven't moved on by now, we have failed ourselves. This your expose. No sell this time. In my opinion, I rest my case. Anyway, my people, let us just end it here. More of the videos is coming your way. Please like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos coming your way. As well, when I go do as normal, this one, when I'll just abandon them, no problem. But we are moving forward. If you are stick with me, if you are still watching my content, my brother, may my God bless you. You shall never die prematurely. Your family shall never die prematurely. In fact, your household have been covered by the Almighty Chukwu Okiabiama in all ramifications. Bye for now. Kemesiano.